This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me.
What is the first thing that pops into your mind when you think of Gettysburg? Is it our Civil War history and attractions? Or is it our beautiful countryside and accommodations? Maybe it's what a great, affordable destination we are. Log on to gettysburg.travel and discover your Gettysburg.
Hello, welcome to Klein Tours, Trips and Tips. My name is Adele Klein, and I am co-owner of Klein Transportation, a travel company locally in Douglasville. And I'd like to welcome you to our show today. I have a guest with me, Linda Ernst from LTE Group Travel Planning Services. And she's going to tell us a little bit about Gettysburg today. But before we start, I would like to offer you a tip. And the tip is, many years ago, I attended a church supper where people bring a casserole dish, and the subject of the dinner was to tell about your most special vacation. This had to be about 20 years ago. And at that time, I guess you might say, I added what one of the gentlemen shared to my bucket list. That's kind of a phrase that people are using today about something special that you want to make sure that you remember to do. And traveling is always a great lead-in for any conversations that you have if you're meeting new people. You know, what was your most favorite vacation? So the tip that I received 20 years ago at this church dinner was that Glacier National Park was an awesome place to go. And quite honestly, the gentleman had so much enthusiasm in his voice, and at that time they had slides, you know, which they don't do now. But if you choose to use this, if a church chooses to use this idea, the technology today, they would just hook up their phone or their computer and still share slides or pictures. But Glacier National Park was awesome. I did attend that finally after all these years, which I didn't forget about, but I combined business with pleasure. My husband and I had a business meeting to attend in Montana, and we planned Glacier National Park, and it was absolutely awesome. And please add it to your travel list of special places to go in the United States, because it's a very special place. And we did the red bus tour. You need to do the red bus tour when you go through Glacier National Park and on going to the Sun Road, because they actually can roll back the top of the red bus, and it's like a convertible, and that's the best way to see going to the Sun Road. So that's my tip for traveling. And now I would like to introduce to you Linda Ernst, and she's going to share with you about Gettysburg.
Thank you, Adele. At the end of June, I had the opportunity to visit Gettysburg. I've been there once or twice before, but this time we were staying overnight. We were going to actually do some sightseeing. Gettysburg has some great hotels, the Wyndham, the Hilton Garden Inn. We chose to stay at the Gettysburg Quality Inn Motor Lodge. Reason being, it's a group-friendly hotel. Okay. Also, it is a convenient location. You can walk to just about anything. You can walk to the battlefield. You can walk downtown. You could walk to restaurants and attractions. Two of the attractions that were right across the street was the Lincoln Train Museum. It looks like a small museum from the outside, but inside it is much bigger than what we anticipated. You saw a short presentation, TV presentation, and then there were train displays and museum artifacts from the war. The highlight of it was a train simulator, and it actually appeared that you were riding on the Lincoln funeral car.
Oh my gosh, that must have been awesome.
Yes, it was a great experience. It probably lasted about I would say probably about 5 or 10 minutes, but it was bumpy like a train, and you looked out the window and you saw what you would have seen back then.
Oh, that must have really been interesting. And the great thing about using the services of travel specialists such as our company, and we use Lynn because they have firsthand experience. And when you have firsthand experience, such as what she explained with where the hotel was located, that's huge, especially if you're taking your family there, and you know.
And you're right. And bringing up taking your family there, I did forget to mention at the hotel they do have a microwave and refrigerator for your convenience. Also included is breakfast buffet each morning in their cottage house. Also, this was very unique. I've never experienced this at a hotel before, but they actually had 3 double beds in a room, which is very convenient. Not all the rooms are like this, but they do have a limited quantity of 3 double beds in the room, which is perfect for a family or if you're traveling with grandparents. Just very convenient. They do have an outdoor pool. And like I said, the convenience factor, we chose that over staying at one of the hotels outside where we would have to drive in every, when we wanted to do an attraction. We were able to walk downtown and visit the shops. We walked downtown and we ate at the Blue and Gray Grill, which was great. And right outside, a couple steps away, was the David Wills Museum that we also visited. He was known for housing the wounded after the war. So Gettysburg is noted for the 3-day battle and the 2-minute speech, but there's so much more out there. From there, the Gettysburg Heritage Center. It's also located across from the hotel. It's a new visitor center, center where they actually have a 4D movie, and I don't want to give too much away on that because when you see it, it's really moving, and it's an experience. They have museum-like exhibits there, and then they also have a very nice gift shop as well. So going down Steinwehr Avenue, where the hotel is located on, you will pass by various museums, the dioramas there, also different shops, unique shops, hat shops. We went into a Civil War shop where they sold muskets and just a lot of interesting stuff from the war. And then our highlight, I guess the highlight when you go out there is the battlefield, the Gettysburg National Military Park. And you're able to, the center itself is huge, and there's cafeterias in there, there's gift shops in there. There's a combo ticket that you can purchase that gives you an introductory film. You'll walk then to the cyclorama, which is a circular picture of the whole entire battlefield, and it moves as they tell a story. Very unique. And I believe it is from the original painting of the battlefield. From there, you take either a double-deck bus tour, a regular bus tour, or you can even get a private driver, tour guide driver that will drive your car through the battlefield and give you a tour. You can get off at different points. You can get off at Little Big Top, or Little Round Top, excuse me, and also Devil's Den. They were 2 of our favorite stops. So, okay, and restaurants. There's many restaurants in Gettysburg. The historic Dobbins House Tavern is always a favorite for groups. We tried Dunlap's restaurant and bakery, which was great food and great bakery. Big coconut cake was there. It was very good. And but there's so much more. They also have ghost tours. There's the Jenny Wade Museum. There's the Soldiers National Museum and the Hall of Presidents. Miniature golf. I mean, you name it, they have it. And they also have more than just the war and the battlefield. There's the countryside with orchids and wineries. And I think we probably could have spent more time out there. Now, if you wanted to extend your trip to Gettysburg, you have York, which is home of factories, including the Harley-Davidson and Wolfgang Candies. You can also visit Harrisburg and visit the state capitol there. Or what we chose to do, of course, was to stop at Hershey and go to the Hershey chocolate factory or the Hershey Park. There's a lot to do in Hershey as well.
I've never been to the new center there in Gettysburg. That's just been recent that they changed
the Heritage Center?
Yes.
Yes. It wasn't quite finished when I was there. So
Okay.
the 4D movie was, and we were able to see that, but they were still finishing up that museum.
So about how much travel time is it from here in our area to Gettysburg?
I would probably give yourself an hour and a half. I
Okay.
think we made it there in a little bit less than that, but I know there was some construction, so I would probably say give yourself an hour and a half.
Okay. We do a lot of Gettysburg with our schools, with our motor coaches. A lot of schools do charter our buses, and it would be a good trip for, like I mentioned before, with church groups or civic organizations, Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, because you can get a step-on guide there to do the battlefield tour.
Yes, you can.
And it makes it a lot of fun when you're with other families and
Even a military reunion group. We ran into a lot of
did you?
veterans there that we
Okay.
were talking to, and they were reminiscing about when they were in the war. So even a group of veterans would be a great group to come out and visit.
Right. So I remember back in the day when I was in school and I learned about history, it wasn't so interesting to me. But now when you go and you experience these places, and I would just encourage you to take your families, hop on a motor coach if you can, if there's a Gettysburg trip, and or get in your car and drive the hour and a half and take your families and experience these wonderful places, because history does come alive, and it just means a lot more, and you learn a lot
And you
more
will learn
from
a
that.
lot more just speaking to the
Absolutely.
local guides out there, even the
Right.
locals in the shops. We had one fella just talk to us, and even my son said, I think I learned more from him than the history books. So
It
it is a great place for families.
It is, and you can really learn a lot. And we're very fortunate to live in the area that we do. And like you said, you can go for the day, basically, to Gettysburg and experience all these things that you did, or you can extend it for overnight and then do Hershey and Harrisburg and York. You can do an extensive little loop in that area to make your traveling more, for overnight trips. So it's your choice to do it however you would like.
Yes. Also, we're planning the Biglersville National Apple Festival for next year, October 2015. That's about 10 minutes north of Gettysburg, the Gettysburg country, but that Apple Festival looks very interesting and adventurous. So maybe you'd like to join us there.
Right, you can check on our website, on Kleins' website, and we have a lot of new things coming up. Not to change the subject off of Gettysburg, but I'm tour directing on a tour coming up September 22nd, and that is going to Maine, and it's called the Maine Train Tour, and we motor coach up to Boston, Massachusetts area, and we stay overnight in that area. We visit in Boston that night before, and then we get on a train there in Massachusetts, and then we ride a train up to Kennebunkport, Maine. And then from there we go all the way up to Acadia National Park, which is another absolute treasure to be able to experience. So that's coming up, and that's available on our website as well. So if we don't have a tour scheduled, that we're talking about Gettysburg right now, we don't have a tour on our website about Gettysburg, but we would encourage you to get your own group together and or travel, with your families and go to Gettysburg and to Hershey and experience some of these wonderful areas that are around that we're so privileged to be able to day trip to.
Yes. it's a perfect time to go to Maine as well. The fall foliage will be
Right, it is. It'll be beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes, it'll be beautiful. And the foliage should be really nice, and the weather conditions should be just perfect, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully there's no rain.
Right.
Oh, let's see.
So what would you say was your favorite part of Gettysburg?
Oh, I'd have to say,
If you had a favorite.
yeah,
probably
there's two. I think the train museum we really liked, but the battlefield, there's nothing like it. You know, there's a lot more out in Gettysburg, but the battlefield is, it just takes you back, and I think it moves everybody.
a very moving and emotional experience as well.
Yes, it is. And they had some fellas in costume out in front who were posing for pictures with anyone who'd like to get a picture opportunity for a photo. It was very nice, but they really are interactive out there. I know they have the reenactment in July each year. Very crowded. It attracts many, many people. I've never been out there for that. However, we've run a lot of bus trips out to the reenactment. Everybody dresses up and they're in costume, and it's something to see. And the ghost tours are really big out there as well, the evening ghost tours. So something you might want to try if you get the chance to go out there.
There's a world of excitement, there's a world of fun. Won't you come and give it a whirl? To all the sights and sounds happening all around at Hershey's Chocolate World. It's the sweetest place on earth to be. Every season filled with your own fantasy. It's the flavor of fun for everyone at Hershey's Chocolate World. It's the sweetest place on earth to be. Packed a lot inside for the whole family. It's the flavor of fun for everyone at Hershey's Chocolate World.
Hershey is such a fun place, as you just watched and experienced. We got a few girlfriends together not too long ago, and we went to Hershey. And what we did was we went to the Chocolate World, of course, and they have a free chocolate ride there. And it's free, and you can see how chocolate is made, and it's a lot of fun. Of course, it's not going to be free when you end up, because there's all this wonderful chocolates that they have to offer. It's such a lot. It's a lot of fun to just choose what chocolate you want to pick, and that was a lot of fun. And then we went to the Hershey Gardens, and that's 23 acres of beautiful flowers there. And I know that Milton Hershey chose that for just for a special spot for his employees to enjoy. And also there is the museum, and my friends and myself attended that museum, and it's like the rags to riches story for Milton Hershey. He was a remarkable gentleman, and it's so wonderful to have that area to be able to choose to take your families to. And then in the evening, what we did was we went over to Hollywood Casino, and there's gaming there, which is fun. And then they also have the horse race track. They have live horse racing there. So we had fun just watching them bring all the horses out and getting lined up, and then choosing, you know, our friends. We were choosing the winners by the names, which name we liked. And we had a lot. It was a great day.
And that's
it really
not too
was.
far from Hershey. That's only about 15 minutes or so.
From Gettysburg?
From Hershey.
Oh, yeah. You mean the
The Hollywood
right,
Park and
right.
Casino.
Yes, it is. It's very close by to Hershey. Yes, the Hollywood Casino. So we
Yeah.
had a great day.
And they also have, in Hershey, they also have outlet shopping. If you're there with your friends, there's outlet shopping. It's also the Troggs Brewery, which is relatively new as well out there. But the Gardens is one of my favorite places. They have the big butterfly house there and the
Yes.
children's garden. There's also lots to do at the Hershey Museum, where you can create your own candy bar,
Yes,
which
that
is always
was
interesting.
fun.
And they give you a behind-the-scenes tour of how they actually make the candy bar. So
Yeah. And they also had a little chocolate tasting from International Chocolates. That was interesting too. And they had these little cups of chocolates that they get from around the world, and how I guess they mix those special chocolates to come up with the best tasting one. So that was interesting as well.
They're doing a great job with
Right,
Yes.
right. We love our chocolate.
And they have 2 great hotels out there. They have the Hotel Hershey and then the Hershey Lodge, which is more of a casual atmosphere, but they have sports bars in there, and it's very close to Hershey Amusement Park, which you can spend the whole day there as well.
I think they open from May to September, the amusement park.
And I think it's been voted one of the cleanest parks around for a couple years in a row. It is a very nice place, family oriented. So.
And I know in the wintertime they have coming up, they do a lights tour through there. Have you ever been to that,
Yes, the Sweets and Treats candy, is it the chocolate candy cane lane? Yes, yes. That's sometimes cold, but it's very nice to spend an evening there, and the lights are just beautiful.
Really gets you in the holiday spirit. And of course you have your chocolates that you can buy for gifts.
And stocking stuffers.
Stocking stuffers, right? Or you can choose to go there in February for Valentine's Day. And of course they don't have the lights there then, but the chocolate store is a lot of fun at that time of the year too.
Yes, and I think they do a chocolate massage at the in their spa at the Hotel Hershey.
Oh, okay.
They have themed around that time.
Yeah, I'm sure they have all kinds of wonderful packages at the Hotel Hershey for, you know, the time of the year and what it is. And I know they do have a great Sunday brunch there, and I think they have some chocolate surprises in with their brunch. I'm sure they do with all their meals.
Yes, they probably incorporate chocolate into it somehow.
Right. So that's a lot of fun.
And yeah, and then on the way home you could either stop at the Hollywood Park to do some gaming as well.
Right.
And you said you went in the evening.
We did.
They probably have the races during the day as well. So.
Right.
But
so, did you say you did the trolley tour? There is a trolley tour around town?
We did the trolley tour, yes. It takes you all through town. What used to be, I don't believe the golf course is there anymore, but years ago would take you through where you'd pass by the golf course and behind Hotel Hershey. It was actually very informative. They have a fellow, the tour guide is dressed up as a bell captain, I believe, and it was entertaining, so they did a good job. So. And there's also the 4D movie right at Chocolate World that you can see as well. So that was interesting, all the special effects there. So.
Certainly children really love to go. That's a special sweet spot to go to. Thank you, Linda, for joining us. It's been
welcome.
A pleasure
Thank
sharing
you for having me. Yes.
all about Gettysburg and the area around there with Hershey. And we hope that you take your families there and join us on our motor coaches. And we'll see you next time.
Wayne Klein of Klein Transportation is committed to providing superior quality vehicles for passengers and employees. He invites you to board our new 2014 MCI model J4500. The stylish cabin reflects the quality of Klein service that you have come to know and expect. Comfortable seats with first-class legroom and LED lit interiors create now a sense of drama and elegance. We invite you to join us on board our new MCI J4500 to the destination of your choice. We offer group charters and travel planning assistance for group leaders. Klein tours, pre-planned one-day trips, and overnight excursions for individuals or small groups. And of course, our regularly scheduled Pennsylvania or Atlantic City casino trips. Our friendly and helpful staff is available to assist you simply by calling 1-800-451-6700 or get a quick quote online at kleintransportation.com. Half the fun is getting there. Welcome aboard.